Okay, we're going to go into another cast here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about content like this. We've got a replay I'm actually really excited to cast here. This is Bonyth versus Rush. Bonyth is one of the greatest players outside of Korea of all time, but currently, right now. I mean, he's just been crushing people online. And he's against Rush. And Rush is basically the newest exciting Terran we've got in Korea. I guess along with the likes of Royal and all these other guys. And when I say, like, newest, I know that everybody's been playing forever, guys, okay? Sometimes people reach out and they're like, actually, he played even before StarCraft 2. I go, I know, man. They all did. They literally all did. This is interesting, Rush not knowing where Bonyth is from. This is, by the way, I didn't realize how misleading this is. If players talk here, it actually looks like they're in the chat. Look at this. By the way, if you guys want to watch these recordings live, you can join me on my Twitch channel where I record them. But Rush confused why there is lag here. It's because Bonyth is on European internet. And I think Rush is annoyed now that he can't get the turn rate 16 or whatever. Either that or it's on 16 and he wanted 20. But Bonyth, being a European StarCraft 1 top-tier world-class player, he knows that European internet is not going to let him do that. What? 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 He's going to go for 2 gates? Why? Because it's laggy? I can't believe this. Wait a minute, what? Oh, and he's going to deny the mining or the scouting for a second. You know, I guess technically if you're like good enough, he could make it so that he doesn't scout this. Okay, he's just out of range of moving shot. Oh, he started it. He has to be at a diagonal. He gives up. Does he try to block the ramp? He does not. Ooh. So he's going to show him the 2-gate. So what does he do now? Does he take gas? I guess he does. Now, funnily enough, it seems like Bonyth had the sense that it's possible for Terran to just try to go to an expand game. But 3 Zealots can be pretty good against us, honestly. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This isn't bad at all. Although I don't think it's, you can't kill the bunker with this. You can try to run by the bunker. We see that a lot with openings like this. Now, as cool and as different as what Bonyth is doing, I do feel like if it doesn't get a lot of damage early on, this is not a good build. There's a reason why we don't see this. But my bet is he's going to run by. And look at this. Rush is pretty smart. He kind of knows. He's like, well, what else can he possibly do but try to sneak by me? So here we go. And Bonyth is pretty smart. He says, nope. I'm not going to get boxed in over here and executed. Protoss really only have 1 or 2 times to try that because, shields, they do remake, but not that quickly. Oh. He's going to just barely get by. That's too bad. Had he maybe made like a barracks like instantly down here and just bought a few seconds. So whenever you do the Zealot run by, you want to kill the SCV that's going to be making the factory. Which is exactly what he's doing. Damn, Bonyth's control is so good. So at the end of the day, that is cleaned up. And where exactly does that put us? I'll tell you what, man. This is not bad because the Nexus is like 60% done. 2 Dragoons are going to come out with range. The command center just started. How about that? That's really interesting. And I guess he's got enough gas for a robo now, right? There it is. I wonder what prompted Bonyth to go for the 2-gate. Maybe he knows Rush likes to do this. It could even literally be something like he was daydreaming and thinking about a matchup previously, like a PvP or a PvZ. I don't think that's normally something that would happen to Bonyth. That might be me projecting, like for what I've done in my games. But I mean, look, this is not terrible for Protoss. Command Center's still not done. Probe's already mining. 4-worker lead here for Bonyth. So the E-base coming down. Rush may be a little bit worried that because it was a 2-gate build, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, he's fearful of possible DTs. That's why you put the turret all the way back here. So the idea is that as your DTs are running up, you get about this far with your vision, and you go, he doesn't have anything. Now I can run into the main and end the game. And then you get pulled into the turret range, and by then your DTs are about in this area here, which means the bunker is going to kill, along with the tank, probably both of the DTs. There's a lot to a position like this. And it's set up exactly to basically kill anybody who's going to DT all in. Here's the thing, though. He's not doing that, guys. In fact, we have 4 Dragoons with range here. Siege mode as well. So this is the honesty check. And we've talked about in many other games. Protoss has pretty much always come up and they just want to get a read. Do you have siege mode or not? Are you playing by the rules or no? So, I mean, Rush has actually been in a very, very difficult game here. He did not have the correct read on what's coming. That doesn't put him behind immensely. The funny thing is he only has, what, 1, 2, and I think there's a 3rd turret here. Yes, there is. Sorry, my scroll speed gets a little out of control when I do these replays. And my guess is we're just going to have Reaver Tech again. But let's find out. We have the first observer, as well as a second out. And it looks like he wants to get a third. And then we're going to have that Robo Tech come in here. By the way, it does seem like nowadays, whenever you have Reaver play, ideally you have 3 observers. This one can check what's going on inside the main. Oh, thread that needle. Damn, look at that. Right through there. Terran's lucky they don't have like some kind of Death Star mechanism where the observer just flies through those 2 turrets and just fires at something and blows the whole thing up. Second observer out here to spot. Now, you got to be careful in this moment because the tanks can be targeted. And this is very worthwhile for the Protoss. To sack these Dragoons to kill these tanks, you'll take that trade any day of the week. He's trying to micro this. Oh, he actually is going to... What? What? Oh, my God. He controlled that perfectly. He shimmied this Dragoon just over there, out of range of both the tank and the Marines. And Terran just lost literally all the tanks they were manufacturing. Wow. Let me get this tab back open here. By the way, if you guys have been watching on YouTube for a while, I think we've started to get the hang of observing and casting and having to figure out all the replay hotkeys. I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to do it without it, but it's cool we can finally kind of make content like this completely on my own. So, Academy coming down a little bit late. I feel like a lot of games we get 4 gateways and then 8, but not this time. It seems like with Protoss having killed those tanks, now you can start to really become oppressive on the map. Terran does have a way out over here, which there's also an observer spotting for. But in order to get out of there, you'd have to get either through these minerals, which you would see with the observer, or through this stasis cell / prison. Is it a cell? Is it a prison? And so now you just kind of stay outside their entrance and wait for them to try to crawl out. Now, whenever you're being this contain-oriented, this is where you could end up getting in trouble over here. So Terran's going to edge out. And I mean, Terran needs to edge out. But is this going to be to generate the illusion of a taken third base? Right now, Protoss is already going up to their fourth base. 5 gateways still producing. Citadel of a Dune here. Forge. Vulture's actually getting a decent amount of worker kills at this point in time. He might want to try to ramp block, yeah. I think that's what he has to do. Dragoon's advancing over here. And guys, I just don't see a command center. Not for a while now. Is Terran just going to push, or is this going to be a very late... I think, okay, it's going to be a late command center, it looks like, with this SCV coming up here. So he's played very safe, almost hoping that there's some way that the Protoss would have overextended into him. But Terran's okay. Actually, it seems like in a lot of these games, if you lose stuff early on as Terran, you don't have a lot of choices. Like, taking a third base is going to be instant death, so you really have to kind of slow cook it. But now Terran's moving out. Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't even make a command center here yet. He might have tricked me as the observer. Now, the Reavers need to get whatever shots off they can get. Chip away at these tanks. Protoss is going to try to dive in and get some good shots with those Reavers. Drops another Reaver, and he's not able to actually fire any shots here. It's a little scary. Okay, dude, I think Rush might just kill him here. Oh my gosh. The tanks are unsieging. By the way, now the CC starts. Well, he's just pushing in here. And, I guess you could try to take a good fight against some of these tanks over here on the ramp, but I mean, this is so bad. I think Protoss is dead. GG. Wow. Okay, let's go back a second here. Very interesting game. So let's go to a couple moments here. Actually, let me go back even further. Let's not forget how this started. This was like a weird game where it was a 2-gate Zealot rush into expand. You could see, again, he thought there was going to be some kind of a rush. Honesty check there on the siege tanks, but this is something we see more and more of. By the way, this is, I guess when you see the siege mode, you know they can't have a starport out just yet to drop with mass vultures because, and he has an observer that comes in here for that anyways, but when he gets through here and kind of sees what kind of game it is, this was one of the big moments. So watch this. Remember that 4 Dragoons, this is 6, but 4 Dragoons can 2-shot a tank. So watch. He sees the angle. He sees this tank here in the front. I'm going to slow this down so you can really appreciate this. The moment he sees this, he goes, okay, this one won't be able to run away. And sometimes if you watch the really good players play, they'll have like the first 6 target one, and then the next 4 target the next one. Goes for this one. He went for this one, I think, in the back, because this is the one that might be able to get away first, and kind of closes in on it. Gets that kill. And then I'm really going to slow it down here. He gets this final kill. Now look at all of the HP. Notice that this one's getting targeted. This is a great micro trick. This one over here on the left is not being targeted at all. He goes just barely out of range of this tank over here to let this the other tank default, to let this tank default onto that one to get the extra to tank the extra damage to actually get that off. So this is where Protoss is ahead. And this is, I mean, I think a lot of pro players would be like, oh, Terran can't win from here now. Partially because that's how pro players have to think, is like, okay, when did things go horribly wrong here? And how do I play perfectly? But this move over here, he kind of comes out like this. And it did seem like a game where You know, even with the SCV here, and I think this SCV, it's very intentional. He has this SCV over here because there's no observer here, by the way, but it kind of looks like you're expanding, right? He's not. He's completely powered up. He's going for it. Also, kind of a funny timing, right? He's halfway done with the attack upgrade. So I almost wonder... It's almost like it's a push that doesn't quite make sense. This would feel like the Protoss should be safe here. But at the same time, you didn't have to attack in this moment. I think this was a mistake here by Bonyth. I think he would have been fine had he just pulled away. And, you know, in a lot of these games, what you do is you run away from the Terran, let the Terran advance, and you kind of run around them and try to get back over here. But definitely engaging here was a mistake. I hope you enjoyed that game. See this micro-macro shirt? This is control over here. Instead of, because that's the Korean word for micro out here. But anyways, you can get that at tastelessthreads.com. Do check out my merch site. Please, again, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about that game and what you think about content like this. I'll see you in a future video. Have a good one. Stay safe out there.